Hello and welcome to the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships 2022. Live from Sun City, South Africa, presented by Eleiko and SBD in this, the 50th anniversary year of the IPF. My name's Joe Whiteley. I'm here with the one and only Ryan Lapadat.
In the 105s today, we have Emil Norling, who had defeated the reigning world champion at the European Championships, but today he has stiff opposition from Corentin Clement from France and Michael Davis from the U.S. In the 120s, the number one nomination is Enrique Lugo, but he has stiff opposition with former world champion Eric Willis and world record breaker Bryce Krawczyk. It is a stacked division, both classes. Who's going to win? It'll come down to the very last lift.
We are underway already, and we will be led out today by Tano Depender of the Netherlands for 270 kilos.
270 kilos, Tano Depender, Netherlands. A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. The competition is underway.
So the graphic below shows you what weight class he is up in the top left. It has his name and his nationality in the middle bar. The bottom bar will populate with his lifts as we go through the competition. And the grey bar at the top's worth keeping your eye on because it tells you what rank he's in and how this lift will change that rank.
Depth looks good.
Not super easy though.
2 to 1, good
Wow,
win for Depender.
let's take a look at that.
295.
Well, the red light for depth that he did get was on the opposite side to us, so I don't think we'll see that from this side. It looked good from this side.
Yeah. You know, it's difficult sometimes to judge because it is work. However, sometimes that's just their squatting style, and even openers look like work.
Sure. We have the British lifter now, Abdulmajid Suleiman, Mo, as we know. He joined us in the commentary booth earlier this week.
Several times. Excellent lifter, a massive deadlift on him. He just wants to gain some ground in the squat, in the bench press, and then he's going to start pulling away in the deadlift event. Wow.
Looking strong today.
Nicely done. Mo looks like he's on point.
2 to 1 for
You know,
Suleiman.
talking to him earlier this week, he said he felt great. You never know with this kind of travel how it might affect some of these lifters. He said he came early, acclimatized properly.
Yeah, he's been here all week, and I think that's really smart.
Great Britain.
So we've got Ben Pape next. We've got two Brits in this class. Ben is opening with 295 kilos.
Nice little 1-2 punch for Great Britain.
It's his first international.
Let's see how it affects him. You know, oftentimes you have some nerves, especially your first lift at your very first World Championships. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety.
But he's done the right thing. He started light. His PB is 322.5. So he's got plenty of room to move up.
Kind of scary that for this young man, 295 is light. But it did look like an opener.
He certainly
Good
did.
day, 3 white lights for Pape.
And he's got his first squat on the board. He'll be relieved now. It'll build a lot of confidence. That first squat is always so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Especially in your first international appearance. When people do their national championships, you're not walking out onto a stage with cameras and lights and a commentary team.
This is true.
Yusuf El Adlani from Italia for 300 kilos.
Yusuf has hit 320 kilos. Expecting this to move well.
Depth look good.
Bar path was on point. Barbell speed was pretty good for an opener.
On the bar is 300 kilos for Abdullah Mohammed, Libya. Bar is loaded for Mohammed, Libya.
Next out, Abdullah Mohammed, Libya. Looking for 300 kilos to open his squat.
And these are some very big openers.
But this is going to be a tightly contested class. We have quite a lot of people nominated at the same weight.
When I crunch the numbers, the top 3, and they're up next, are all within 5 kilo.
That's quite an unusual style. It seems to work well for him, though.
He's tight and compact. It's a very high bar, narrow grip.
And next out here is one of the contenders, Michael Davis. 307.5 on the bar.
Yeah, the big 3 are up next. Michael Davis, a junior world champion back in 2018, now in the Open. America's title hopes. He's coming for the gold. He's got a big squat. Let's see how he handles 307.5. Depth looks good. Wow.
Wow, that was super easy. I think that's a sign of things to come.
You never know. Michael Davis, obviously coming from North America, it's a big travel, a lot of
Really
time
is.
zones to cross.
A lot of the Americans had difficult journeys here.
And the opening squat usually gives an indicator how well he acclimatized. Michael Davis appears to have acclimatized well.
Clement, France, is out next for 315. I remember seeing him lift as I was going to say junior, but I think he's actually a sub-junior in Calgary.
The exact same world championships, actually. He was a sub-junior one. Michael Davis won as a junior, and now they're past cross in the Open. Excellent lifter and one of the big 3.
And still a junior, I think.
Yes, he is.
Now, what do you think about the depth there, Ryan?
I think it's right. I think it'll get in, but it's right on there. Oh.
Sorry, that is no lift. 2 to 1, no lift.
It seemed from, I was kind of, I've got a slightly different view to you. I was kind of looking around the squat rack, and it just seemed to me to hit parallel and go no further.
Well, that's going to set him back because he's probably going to retake that weight.
I would. I mean, we did see it working out for Chance Mitchell yesterday. He'd miss his opener and go up, but that is risky. Emil Norling now, Sweden.
The reigning European champion defeated the reigning world champion. The finish off his 2021 campaign is here and wants to add the world title to his resume. He won the world championships as a junior, would love to win it in the Open.
Took the silver medal last year. But Anatoly Novopismeny, last year's winner, is not here today. Now that looked strong, but not deep enough. So,
You know what? What does this set? Does this set up Michael Davis? If these 2 lifters have to retake their opening weight, and Michael Davis could move forward.
this has really thrown their plans now. So I can see that Emil Norling is repeating, Clement is repeating 315.
Yeah, Corentin Clement is repeating 315. I'm going to assume Norling will repeat 330.
I would assume so. I would assume so.
Here's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of lifting left to go, and possibly Michael Davis will also miss the lift along the way. This is how it unfolds. Very rarely do you go 9 for 9.
Tano Depender, Netherlands for 282.5. He's gone up 12.5. Now, powerlifting really is a numbers game, so if you want to follow the live score sheet, go to goodlift.info.
Oh.
A little bit of a technical error there. Did the bar dip?
Sorry, that is no lift, no lift.
Now, the centre referee thought that the bar did. The bar must travel in a straight path, must not go up and down.
Quick update on Emil Norling. He will be repeating 330 kilos for his second attempt.
Yeah, it was marginal.
Bar is loaded, 315 kilos.
So, Yusuf Eladlani, Italia, for 315. Taking the 15 kilo increase. That seems reasonably standard in this class.
Yeah, they are. You know, the bigger the weight class, the bigger the jumps, because it's all relative. His biggest squat leading into the competition was 320 kilos, so this is within that.
Tough one, but I think he's got it on the board.
How many kilo would you advise he goes up? Maybe 5?
I wouldn't go more than 5. Definitely not.
I think 5 to equal his previous best.
Bar is loaded. 315 kilos, Suleiman, Great Britain.
Next out, we have Abdul Suleiman for 315. Current best is 317 and a half.
Mo had a historic deadlift battle at the British Nationals where the British national record was broken several times. When we get to the deadlift event, he will regain some ground. He just wants to add some kilos here. Nicely done. And with the 3 favorites, 2 of them missing their openers, that really sets up Mo nice, doesn't it,
It really
Joe?
does. It really does. I think he's given himself space to go up. I think he's got a little bit more left in the tank. Grand Saint-Clément, France for 315.
Now, in my opinion, his first squat wasn't miles high. He needs a correction, but not a major retooling here. A small correction, a little bit lower.
It was only an inch of depth he was short of.
Better,
That looks better. He actually paused it.
but looked harder, though.
2 to 1. He's on the board.
The thing is now, when we look at the slow-mo replay, it was better, but it looked harder for an opening weight. It was work. Look at the, you know,
I think he's still got a bit left.
yeah, it's definitely not max top end.
Now here's Ben Pape for 317. Current best is 322 and a half, which he did at the British Men's in March. Yeah, I think he made a technical error on his way down there. I think he lost the bar path and was just loose at the bottom. I think he's capable of that.
Yeah, he it might not have been a strength issue. He just might have lost his balance and bar path went wonky on him, and spotters and loaders did their job. Yeah, that's
He
where
lost his balance.
I
I think on the descent he was slightly offline, so when he started to come up, the weight got behind him.
bar path is key. Down and up is what you want. Any variation from that, and you're tempting fate.
Abdullah Mohammed, Libya. Gone up 17 and a half. Did you say, is that very high bar position? And as he starts to descend, his elbows come forward, which is quite unusual. He needs to be careful that they don't rest on the legs.
Now, that depth is probably marginal as well.
Well, we'll see what the referees say.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 to 1.
right on the line.
320 on the bar now. Michael Davis, USA.
We're starting to establish where the judges are going to call depth. It's the first few squats where the lifters figure this out.
From the side view, though, that did look like he did sink it in. So here's Michael Davis for his second attempt, his second squat of 320.
Look at, he's in an excellent position. Among the big 3 nominations, he's the only one who got his opener. Depth looks looks good. Wow, he looks strong today.
He's really placing himself to be a contender in the overall fight, and I can see he is now nominated. His prediction is to be in first place. It's early days, I know, we're only in the squat phase, but the projected total puts him now in first.
We got to keep one eye on the event, but we also have to keep one eye on the projected. There's a bigger picture.
Now here's Emil Norling. He won't be phased by this. He's an experienced lifter. Missed 330 on depth. And it wasn't miles off.
No, it was very, very close. Again, just like Clement, he does not have to completely change his squat. Just a stitch lower should do. That should do it.
Oh, but it's hard. That's a tough lift.
And it's the same thing with Corentin, where he hit depth, but it was more work you would have expected from opening weight. Same with Emil, hits depth, but that was opening weight, and that was a struggle. Openers don't move like that.
So I wonder if they're going a bit deeper than they have been going in training.
Right.
So these are the standings we have at the moment. Early days, we're going into the third round of squat with Norling in the lead from Davis from Mohammed. Tano Depender, 282.5. He missed this last time. Was it depth?
I had so much excitement here. I think. Oh!
Oh, I think he lost his balance with the last one, but that looked like a good squat.
And I think, yeah, you got it in. Here's also the problem when you lose your bar path. Your hips then can get pulled up, and you need your hips to sink down to hit depth. So when your bar path goes a little wonky, in this case, only one hip was a little high, and you got called by one ref. Got to be careful. Keep your technique tight.
So Ben Pape is coming out to retake 317.5. Now, I think he did lose his way on the way down.
Yeah, he lost his balance.
Yep.
Spotters and loaders caught him. We're not entirely sure, but it appeared as though it's just a balance issue, and possibly the strength is there. He has hit 322.5, so historically speaking, the strength has been there. Is it there today?
So the referee's caught a misload there. It's the referee's task to make sure the correct weight is loaded to the bar. And here comes Ben. He looks quite nervous.
Yeah.
With big weights like this, one of the key factors is belief.
It might be, his pre-squat ritual. That looks good.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You have to wonder what happened the first time with that weight then. That was a great squat.
Yeah, even though that's his third squat, that moved like a second attempt. So it makes sense they picked that weight.
Quite often when a lifter comes out and they don't believe in the lift, they're really nervous of it. You can see it on the face, and they can almost talk themselves out of it, and I was concerned that's what Ben was doing. But I'm glad he proved me wrong.
Yeah, it was just a pre-squat ritual, but it's a little bit concerning. I could see where it looked like he was literally praying to the powerlifting gods for the strength.
Now here's Yusuf El Adlani. He is fired up for 322.5.
Depth looks good.
That's a really well-judged third attempt.
Forces those knees out, keeps his chest up, completes the lift.
Referee, your vote, please. Show of hands, please. Good lift. 3 white lights and a good lift. Thank you. 322.5.
That was a good lift for El Adlani. He's now in silver medal position on squat with 5 squats left to go. And we have Mo coming out next. Abdul Majid
2 more
Suleiman.
attempts to make any changes. 2 more attempts to make any changes.
Now this is a personal best for Mo. And you can see the intensity has risen with the weight.
It's his second international. He finished just off the podium at the Europeans.
It's a 7.5 kilo jump, but his 315 moved very well for his second attempt.
I think he's looking strong today.
Yeah, he definitely is. Oh, whoa! Mo was on point.
2 to 1, no leg, no leg for
What were those? One on depth and one.
Yeah, this side on depth, the other side on lockout.
So
changes. Last chance.
I can't really see the hip there. Let me see the lockout. Looks locked out.
I'm not sure. I can see the coaches at the jury table.
I
We
would-
have a 5-man jury. The coach is just discussing with that.
I would approach the jury table if I
it-
was the head coach.
It's overturned. It's a good lift.
That's what I
That's a
thought,
good lift.
if I'm honest.
The jury have a slow motion replay monitor and they can review any lifts and overturn it if that's their decision. So here's Abdullah Mohammed for 325.
Here's his very high bar stance. Tight grip to his shoulders and even tight foot space. Very narrow. But hits depth
That's a grind.
and squats 325. So if it works for you, the shoe fits, kick it. Wow. Wow.
He's definitely pleased with that.
Yeah, that's a great squat.
325 on the bar now.
Well, that puts him in the silver medal position for the moment. 3 squats still to go.
Bar loaded, no more changes. 325 for Corentin Clément of France.
Next out,
No more
Corentin
changes,
Clément
shoulders.
for 325. Now his game plan was spoiled when he missed his opener, took it again, and he's gone up 10. This will put him in the bronze medal position on squat.
Now, he has hit 325 before, but it is the biggest squat he had previously registered. In the past, he's been good for it. It's a 10 kilo jump, which is about what you'd expect in a 105 kilo class.
Very low bar position.
Yep. That's depth. Well, that was better than when he retook the opening weight, in my opinion.
And he's on the board with 325.
And I think that was better by the judges as well. I think he got a red last time. He's actually catching pace. Maybe it was a little bit of nerves early on. I'm not sure. It's a
Well,
shame.
this is the highest level of powerlifting, and if you don't get nervous, then you don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah, you just don't care enough.
Michael Davis now for 330.
Speaking of men who care, it means a lot to him. It's his dream to become a world champion. If he can go 3 for 3, he's starting to build a healthy base to achieve that goal.
Now this will match what Emil Norling did on his second, but he's lighter than Emil, so he'll go past.
And Emil really had to labor hard for that. And Michael Davis, not as much.
Absolutely right. He looks like he had more to give there.
Oh, and Michael Davis is on fire. He realizes, he sees the other contenders struggling a little bit. Meanwhile, he seems to be having relatively easy work in the squat section.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what was going on with Emil on his second. Missed his first on depth, and then seems to really struggle to get it up on his second, and he's gone up 7.5 kilos now.
But we can't look past Emil. He's the European champion. He defeated the reigning world champion. He's won world titles in the juniors, and he always is known for pulling for the win.
He's got a great deadlift.
He's the biggest deadlifter of the pack, which means he's never really out of the race. That's borderline on depth, though.
Well, he stood up with it.
He stood up with it. I think it's a moral victory, though. I don't think it's going to pass.
2 to 1. It's a good lift.
Well, what do I know? The judge, in my defense, the judge on my side said it didn't pass either, and I had the same view as her, so we're on the same page.
Next weight on the bar is 290.
As you always say, Ryan, hips don't sit level.
That's right.
It looked a little bit high from this side. He got one red light from this side, but it was passed by the other judges. So as we go into the 120s, we have Emil Norling leading the way from Michael Davis, with Abdullah Mohammed and Corentin Clement just behind.
You know, it's going to be interesting. I mean, that was pivotal for Emil to stay in the hunt for that gold medal. He needed that. Very key squat.
We have the 120s now. We are lifting back to back. We have the 105s in the first flight and the 120s in the second flight. So all the 105s have done their squats. The 120s will come out now and do all 3 rounds of squat.
Just like in the 105s, the 120s have a big top 3 where there's the number 1 nomination in Lugo, the former world champion in Eric Willis, and former world record breaker in Bryce Krawczyk, Canada's 1-2 punch there. It's going to come down to the very last lift, and it's likely going to be a world record.
So we have Eslam Salam Mervas from Libya for 290. He's very late to the platform, though.
This is somewhat concerning. He's got 24 seconds left.
You only have 60 seconds from bar loaded, so he's going to have to... He looks very relaxed for a man with 16 seconds on the clock.
15 seconds.
And he shouldn't be messing with his wrist straps really.
He still
on the
has his
platform.
earphones in. He still has his ear, is playing his music.
Technical control, you let a lift onto the platform with his earbuds in.
This is a bit of an untidy mess, if I'm honest.
Timed out. Timed out.
No lift.
The Libyan team really has to pay closer attention to, you know, the calls, the bars loaded, and how their lifter's going onto the platform. That's costly.
So it's the coach's job to deliver the lifter to the platform ready to go, and he did not do that. So we have Eric Willis next from Canada, 290 on the bar. You know Eric well.
Yeah, so the former world champion here, he's a bit unique. Usually you have subtotal artists who are big on the squat and the bench, and then you have a deadlift specialist. Eric is more of a push-pull king, where he has a massive deadlift and a massive bench press. So his squat, he's going to lose a little bit of ground. He's coming out second. He's going to gain it in the bench and gain it in the deads. Just wants to go 3 for 3. I don't know about that.
No.
Oh, wow. And for him to have missed his opener on strength.
Well, I'm not sure if it was strength. It looked a little bit nervous. He seemed to kind of pause at the bottom of the squat.
And that's weird because he's been at so many world championships to be nervous.
It's 292.5 kilos.
What I will say is he won the world title in the 120s, moved to the 120 pluses, cut down for the first time in a while here for the 120s again for a re-emergence. Perhaps the weight cut.
Carl Petter Somerset from Norway, 292.5 on the bar.
And Somerset is another veteran of the game, in and out of equipment. So many double digits in international competitions.
That was nice depth. There was some effort to do to stand it up.
Or if not double digits, a handful anyways.
Bryce Krawczyk, Canada. Bar loaded, 292.5 kilos, Krawczyk, Canada.
Next out, Bryce Krawczyk, Canada again. Got 2 Canadians in this group.
Bryce is
292.5 on the bar.
Bryce is a phenomenal lifter. He's got a serviceable squat, serviceable bench, but broken world records with that deadlift, and he can cover some massive ground in the deadlift event. They don't want to give him that opportunity.
He's certainly opening 20, 25 kilos higher than anyone else on deadlift.
Ten-year veteran of the game.
Again, lifts classic and equipped.
Yep.
Strong.
Easy work.
Relatively narrow stance, toes forward.
Good lift for Krawczyk.
Yeah, some people like a small footprint on the ground.
And if you can hit depth with that stance, it's very strong.
Concentrate the power of pressing.
Next out, we have Nicolas Perrault, France for 305.
Perrault's sister actually competed earlier on in the battle of the 69 kilo class.
She did, Clara. I think she took some junior records.
She did break some junior records, and she will probably appear in the Junior World Championships later on this year as well.
current best is 322.5.
Nicolas is actually her coach as well. Probably interesting having your older brother also coach you if he hasn't bossed you around enough as a child.
Not sure that would work for a lot of people.
No, not for me. Okay, well, I don't know about the depth, but it moved well.
I think it looked good, and the referees agree.
Okay.
Likes of Halo at 305. 315 on the bar now. Manis Gazuts, Latvia.
Yep, it looked good on the replay there. I take it back.
Well, we have a kind of quarter-on view of the squat rack, so until we get the side view, it's quite hard to tell depth. Maris Yuzup, Latvia, 315 on the bar.
Maris has previously hit 340 kilos, so this is well within his means. Oh wow, that was fast.
Wow.
When I said
miss it.
when I said well within his means, that was an understatement.
That was. I'm speechless. That was so quick, both down and up. It took the spotters by surprise.
Bars loaded, 315 kilos, Krikula, Finland.
Anti-Krikula, Finland for 315.
And he has hit 335, 20 kilo more, so 315 should not be any tall order.
Depth looked good, had to put some work in to get it back to the top.
3 white lights, a good lift. Krikula, 320 on the bar now. Enrique Lugo, USA.
Next out, Enrique Lugo,
Lugo,
USA. He's got 320 on the bar. I had the pleasure of commentating on his World Championship win in Regina in the juniors in 2019.
Yeah, he is the #1 nomination coming in. Medal favorite for the gold, but he's got stiff opposition.
Well, I'm more familiar with him as an equipped lifter than a raw lifter.
Yeah, he's done a little bit of both. Looked pretty easy.
It definitely looked easy. He's a strong lifter, but 2 to 1, a good lift. I was kind of being hesitant because I wasn't certain of the depth.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. And the judges were split on the decision, but it tilted in his favor. It was right on the line. He definitely doesn't want to go any more shallow than that. He found the sweet spot.
Mohamed Sahad, Algeria, 345.
Mohamed Sahad, Algeria.
This is a monster squat for an opener. I'm very curious how this moves.
He's listed his best as 350.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, if that best, he's been competing 15 years, so usually your best don't get redone with massive leaps after 15 years of competing. Usually you wouldn't open that close to your best, but let's see how this moves. Wow.
Well, it's a very narrow stance, so let's see how the depth looks from the side. Well,
Looks good.
it's a good lift.
Lugo has been overruled by the jury. Lugo.
Wow, so Lugo's squat has been overruled by the jury in the #1 nomination, as well as Eric Willis, the #3 nomination, or have both missed their openers, shades of the 105
Of the
kilo
105s,
class.
Absolutely. So as it stands, Sahad is ahead of Maritz and Vivali from the B group. But we still have 3 lifters yet to make a successful squat. Here comes Eslam Salameros from Libya to retake 290.
The 120 class has already become dramatic.
No, the depth looked good there to me. However, I'm not the one giving the red lights, but the referees liked it too.
Same weight remains on the bar. Eric Willis, Canada, also second attempt at this weight.
So here's Eric Willis. This is a really surprising one for me. Missing 290. We know he's capable of this weight and much more.
Yeah, it is. I mean, from a former world champion, 10 years in the game, multiple-time world championship appearance, collected medals. I think he's going to make the proper adjustments. The only concern I have is, obviously, it's the first time cutting weight to 120 in a little bit.
And did he have a long way to cut, do you know?
Sorry, I mean, what he's normally used to for 120, just hasn't done it in a while.
Yeah, that was not deep enough.
I want to take a look at this replay.
It looks like it went to about parallel.
Yeah.
He's not far off.
He's not far off, but he's now down 2 squats with only 1 left, and a former world champion might be dropped from the pack early in this race. Did not see that coming.
Kyle Petter Somerset, Norway.
Unfortunately for Eric, even if he gets 290, he's a little bit behind. However, Lugo also misses opener.
Lugo's gone up.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's a dicey proposition. Oh, nicely done.
Nice laugh at the top. From his face, it looked like he was squatting the whole world, but the bar moved very well.
Now, speaking about Lugo moving up despite missing his opener, you missed the first one on depth, not strength, that's fine. If you move up and you're not as strong as you thought you were due to travel, time zone change, and the cut, you miss your second on strength, you've really backed yourself into a corner.
And that may well open the way for the rest of the lifters in the pack. And here comes one of them, Bryce Krawczyk, Canada.
Hey, look, if Eric Willis doesn't get a squat in, and if Lugo gets set back, this is definitely your gold medal favorite all of a sudden.
He's taken quite a big jump. He's gone up 17.5 kilos.
He's hit 315 before, however. This was an exceptionally big travel from Canada. Moved like the...
Very nice.
Very similar to the opener. If they like the opener, they're probably going to like that. So he found the depth that the judges are going to pass, and he just has to play within that field and range.
Nicolas Perrault, France for 320.
Bars loaded. 320 kilos, payroll, France.
Taking a 15 kilo jump. 320 on the bar.
He's hit 322.5 before. This should be within his means.
Depth was good.
Yep.
Slow through the sticking point.
And Perrault, despite the fact he looks massive on the platform, is actually about 10 kilo, just under 10 kilo under the limit.
Wow.
A very small 120. He's moving up, gaining some valuable experience, and just shows you how quality a lifter he is to be competitive here.
Antti Krikkila, Finland for 327.5. This will move his rank up from 7th to 4th in squat. Good squat for him. I don't think there's a huge amount left there though, maybe only 5 kilos.
Yeah, he's previously hit 335.
On the bar, Enrique Lugo, USA.
But those could be different conditions.
Did not get his previous attempt, has gone up to 327.5.
So Enrique Lugo
Lugo, USA, 327.5.
for 327.5, having missed 320.
Now this is a very dicey proposition.
As
High
we-
risk.
As we said earlier, though, this worked out really well for Chance Mitchell. He did it twice, missed his opening squat, went up, missed his opening deadlift, went up, won the world title.
Also Team USA. I mean, high risk, high reward. You hit this, you're right back to where you wanted to be, where you planned on being. You miss this, you're in big trouble.
Let's go, aggressive, walk.
That looked good.
Strength is definitely there.
The
And he's
risk-
on the board, 2-1.
The risk pays off. Now, we've seen this story before. Let's put a pause and see if the jury likes it.
I'm just watching them. I'm leaning around to try and see the jury. They are not moving.
Okay,
They're
wow.
watching the replay, though, so I'll just keep my eye on them for the moment.
It appears as though Team USA has done it again, and the gambles are paying off.
Bars loaded, 332.5 kilos.
There's a discussion going on, but the jury are not on their feet. Lugo is on the board.
Well, we know how the day ended for Chance Mitchell. Will it end like that for Lugo?
Maris Yuzup's Latvia. Now, his squat was so fast we could barely see it. Or was that the Algerian? No, it was Maris.
This is a substantial jump from his opener. Let's see if it can slow him down any. Whoa!
Wow.
And is he okay?
That is no
When you
Okay.
dive bomb like that, the muscles can only take so much.
Just give us a few moments because we're going to have to unload.
So, yeah, that was a really unusual thing. I don't think I've ever seen a lifter ditch the bar over their head at that kind of speed. So we're just going to have to get a deadlift jack under here and strip the bar so we can get it back on the rack.
Maybe we could talk about some of the stuff we just seen. For instance, Eric Willis, former world champion in the 120s, in a dire situation here, Joe.
He's really in trouble now.
And it's a stitch concerning. However, fellow Canadian Bryce Krawczyk, opposite fortunes, gone 2 for 2 now, and looking to increase 7.5 kilo in his third. And of course, Enrique Lugo, the American, missing his opener on his opening squat, going up in weight anyways, hitting it, and pacing himself just like he was planning originally.
But this really shuffles the field up because we expected Eric Willis to be fighting at the front.
And here's the thing, Eric Willis isn't a phenomenal squatter. I said that previously. He covers ground in the bench and the deadlift. If he can get 290, if he can do it, he's going to build his total in the bench and the deadlift. He isn't out of it yet. He could still be a contender. He's just got to get a squat on the board.
We've seen stranger things happen. So we have the bar back in the rack, and we have Mohamed Saad from Algeria for 355. And I can see that Maris is scratched. So I hope he's not hurt, but he's not going to take another squat.
Yeah, when the muscles stretch like that, when you dive bomb with that kind of weight on your back, it's hard to
Well, I
keep
think
control.
it's also difficult to keep control of which direction you're coming up in. And I think the weight got in front of him, and he dumped it over his head, which was really hard for the spotters behind him to catch. But you have Mohamed Saad for 355. Now the strength is there. Was it deep enough? It was. So he pulls out another 10 kilos ahead.
And he has a massive squat on him.
He really does. And that is the very definition of Justin. He's not wasting any energy going too deep.
Nobody wants to see this guy go out without a squat. So when he comes out, the bar is loaded.
So now we have the third round of squats. So we have Eric Willis coming out for 290 with nothing on the board. This is a tense moment.
He has a lot more serious face coming out for this one. I think
Looks
he
a bit
knows.
rattled.
I think he's going to drop it right in the pocket and come up with it.
Waiting for the decision.
Back in the hunt.
2-1.
Back in the game.
2-1, a good lift.
The push-pull king is back in the game. Wait, he just had to get into the bench press event, and he could start building his total.
So I wasn't sure of the depth from this side, and he did get a red light from this side. But 2-1 is good enough.
Bars loaded, 312.5 kilos, Carl Somerset,
That's
Norway.
really going to hold him back, though, in the whole race.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, but again, the bigger chunk of his total comes from bench and deadlift, so
Carl Petter Somerset now from Norway. Gone up to 312.5.
his previous personal best is 307.5. Uncharted waters for Somerset.
Wow.
Great fight.
And a great attempt selection.
Yeah, that excellent attempt selection by the Norwegian team.
Not one more kilo would have done.
Nope. They got everything out of the lifter.
Bar is loaded, 315 kilos.
So, Esla Salam Meras, Libya, for 315. Missed his opener, got it on his second. He's gone up 25 kilos.
Now, he's hit 320 before, so his planned opener was probably somewhere in that range. Having to retake his opening weight, he's probably not taking his planned third, probably not taking his planned second, probably taking a weight somewhere in between, which is a common tactic when you got to retake your opening weight.
Just taking him a moment to settle the weight on his back. Oh. Wow, we are seeing
This
some...
is, and he's grabbing his groin and his hamstring.
No lift.
And this is a very interesting squat session where
This is so unusual. I don't recall ever seeing the bar hit the floor twice.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we
and these spotters and loaders are really earning their money today. That must rattle them. That's a lot of weight coming flying at you.
We've got 5 spotters there, but they are expecting the lifter to still be under the bar and to help the lifter back into the rack, not catch a bar that's been thrown at them.
Yeah, and obviously in the lifter's defense, these are injuries making
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. It looked like he clutched at his leg.
I'll tell you right now, this is already a short flight, quick turnaround, which very much impacts the lifters in terms of their time to recover from the previous attempt. Now it's getting shorter and shorter, I'm afraid. This is going to impact, if you can't adjust to a quick turnaround while hitting max loads, it's going to affect you. Who's going to start missing lifts due to this?
So we have the standings, the squat standings on the screen at the moment, with Sahad leading the way, but the next 2 lifters down, Moritz and Vivali, are from the B group, and we have Krikula ahead of Lugo, this is not the squat session we were expecting to see.
No, not at all. Not from any of the contenders, maybe, except for Bryce Krawczyk.
Canada.
And here he comes for his third, 317.5 on the bar, gone up 7.5.
Let's see if he can maintain his form. Finish out 3 for 3.
Two and a half kilos more than he's ever done before, but his 310 looked great.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
That actually looks better in a second.
Absolutely phenomenal squat there.
More convincing depth. The form was on point. No breakdown at any point. Get bullied by the weights. Excellent bar path. The bar speed was probably the same as his second attempt. Bryce Krawczyk is definitely on point today.
He is. He's having a good day, and that's going to give him confidence. He knows everything's going well. So Nicolas Perrault, France for 325.
It's hard to believe with the size of Nicolas that he's actually 10 kilos smaller than the other competitors.
110. I was quite surprised when you pointed that out.
Yeah, no, because he looks monstrous. These are large gentlemen, and being around them in the warm-up room is very humbling for a normal-sized man.
Squad.
Nicely done.
And it's back to the top.
Very low bar. Look how low that bar is on his back.
Good lift, 2 to 1 for payroll.
Again, I wasn't sure of depth, and he's got a red light from this side.
Check out the low bar on his setup. I believe Corentin Clement also has a very similar setup for his
True.
squat, also Team France.
All of it.
Bars loaded, 332.5 kilos.
Antti
Rickula,
Rickula.
Finland.
Finland for 332.5. He's 2 for 2 right now. No, that's not going. Just a step too far. That leaves him with the best squat of 327.5. Finishes just off the squat podium.
USA. 2 squats remain. There will be a 5-minute break. 5-minute break between squat and bench. 5 minutes.
Enrique Lugo next for USA. He's gone up to 340.
26 years old, already an 11-year veteran. Lugo was previously squatted 347.5 kilos. But it only matters what you have on the day, and he's adjusting appropriately. Took a gamble, missing his opener on depth, going higher on his second. Gamble paid off, and here we are at 340 kilos. He doesn't have as big a deadlift as Krocek, so this is the kilos he needs from the squat event. Oh, can he fight through it?
Oh, what a grind!
Wow. I think he's got
I
it.
think he has.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful grind by Lugo, and that's got to give you confidence when the fight comes. You meet the challenge and you win, your confidence booms.
And again, that was great attempt selection.
Yeah, that was excellent attempt selection and well played by Team USA. Shades of Chance Mitchell, it's got to be said.
Mohamed Sahad, Algeria.
Next out, we have Mohamed Sahad, Algeria. He already has the squat gold.
This is a monstrous squat, let's just say. 365 kilo, this is a monstrous squat. And I think the spotters and loaders are already anxious with what we've seen. So when they have this kind of weight loaded, my goodness, I'm glad I'm in the media booth.
We are still a way off the world record, which was Dennis Cornelius for 386 back in 2017
Yeah,
in
Dennis,
Minsk.
likely the greatest 120 kilo lifter of all time, and he's on the comeback. We might see him again in the future. Depth looks good. Oh, wow.
So easy.
Oh, wow. He looked like he had another 10 kilo weight if I'm honest.
Well, that gives him the squat gold and a healthy lead going into the rest of the competition. He is 25 kilos ahead of Lugo on squat. So Lugo took the bronze, and Maritz from Group B took the squat silver.
And what an entertaining battle. Do not go anywhere. We will be back in 5 minutes.
Welcome back to the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships in beautiful Sun City, South Africa. We're through to the bench press part of the competition, and here's a review of the squats in the 105s.
Emil Norling took the lead with a 337.5 kilo squat, but he had to retake one of the weights, and things got a little dicey for him. Michael Davis, in contrast, a clean 330, looks very strong, and Mohammed taking the bronze with a 325 and paying attention to Clement, who is one of the top 3 favorites, also missed a squat, also had to retake it. How far back did that set him? Only time will tell. He does have a very large deadlift.
We are getting going now. We have the 105s lifting back to back with the 120s. So Ben Pape is going to lead the way for the 105s. He is opening with a 180 bench.
Bar is loaded, 180 kilos, Ben Pape, Great Britain. Come on, Great Britain, get behind your lifter, come on.
Just explaining to the platform crew exactly how he wants his bar handing out.
The platform crew, bless them.
They've had a stressful day already.
Dave, that's a tough day in the office. It's a tough day in the office.
Start. Wrist. Rack.
Nice opener for Ben Pape.
3 white lights, good lift for Ben Pape, 185 on the bar now, Yusuf El Adlani, Italy.
Bar loaded.
Bar loaded, 185 kilos.
And
El
next out
Adlani
is
of
Yusuf
Italy.
El Adlani from Italy. He's coming out for 185.
Yusuf, his personal best is 194 kilos in powerlifting. The smallest increment you can move up is 2.5. The only time you can move up less is if it's a world record, and then you can move up in 0.5. Judging by his bench press personal best, likely a record breaker back home in Italy.
Start. Wrist. Rack.
Another nice opener there.
3 white lights.
3 white lights, good lift for El Adlani, 185 on the bar now, Abdul Suleiman, Great Britain.
Next out we have Mo from Great Britain,
Bars loaded, 185 kilos, Suleiman,
also
Great
for
Britain.
185. Bench is the most technical of the lifts. You find the lifters tend to be much calmer, more focused. They don't come out raging like a bull for bench press.
Yeah, the thing with the bench press, you know, squat, you have your start command and rack command. Deadlift, just your start command. Bench press, you get 3 commands. You'll have a start command,
Wrist.
a press command,
Rack.
and a rack command.
And Suleiman did those very well indeed.
190 on the bar now, Emil Norling, Sweden.
If you take a look at Mo, there's a long range of motion with his press because his arms are long and they're going to greatly help him in the deadlift, hurt him in the bench press.
Emil Norling next for 190.
Reigning European champion.
He's got a decent squat. He's got a massive deadlift. Bench is a little behind.
That deadlift is such a potent weapon. He has defeated reigning world champions. He has won world titles himself. Well, will it be enough today? Only time will tell.
Wrist. Rack.
What do you think, Joe?
Not super easy. I mean, a good lift for sure.
Good
He's
lift,
on the
3
board,
white lights for Norling at
but
190 kilos.
maybe not as fast as you'd want your opener to move.
I'm used to seeing Emil extremely confident, taking the platform, all smiles. He smiles before he even completes a squat. Haven't seen that yet. It doesn't mean I won't see it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Hope to see it on the deadlift. Abdullah Mohammed, Libya, for 190. Narrow grip.
Start.
Yeah, that's a long way up and a long way down.
Wrist.
He moved it quickly though.
Good lift, through right line to Mohammed, Libya. 192.5 of the bar now, Tano Depender, Netherlands. Bars loaded, 192.5.
Tanner Depender, Netherlands for 192.5. He's a big bencher. His best is 208, presumably a Dutch national record. Don't want to speak too soon, but maybe we'll have a less eventful bench press than we did the squat session.
Wow. You know the spotters and loaders would like that. But I think the crowd and the viewers at home appreciate the action and these men pushing the envelope.
Wrist. Rack.
Slow and steady.
Through right line to the good lift, the
Through right
Depender,
lights.
200 on the bar now. Conaton Clement, France. Bars loaded,
Now we
200
have
kilos,
Corentin Clement, France, for 200.
And Clement is very much a three lift kind of lifter. I know oftentimes when you have a big deadlift like he does, it impedes your bench press. He's special, and that's why he's won medals at the World Championships before. He's got the second highest opening bench because his bench is so potent despite those long arms. All types of horsepower in this young man. He does flare.
Eee, that was hard.
He does flare out a little early there, though. But let's keep in mind, his opening squat looked hard, and then by his third, it got easier for some reason.
5 kilos on the bar for Davis.
So maybe he just needs a few more warm-ups.
Yeah, well, maybe, or maybe just needs a taste of that platform and the bright lights.
Now here's Michael Davis with the biggest bench opener at 205.
Michael Davis hasn't missed. Looks extremely strong based off the squat event,
Start. Wrist.
and extremely strong based off of that.
Absolutely.
Look, if Emil Norling doesn't quite look like we're used to seeing with his confidence, and Clement seems to be struggling just a tad, Michael Davis is stark contrast, easily smoking these weights that Team USA is loading for him.
So we're already through to the second round, and here comes Ben Pape to increase his bench to 187.5.
Start. Wrist.
Well,
Rack.
pretty smooth. What do you think, Joe?
I think that's a decent second attempt. I think it gives him maybe another five at most.
The fact that that tied his previous personal best is impressive. Obviously, his bench press has improved.
Ball loaded.
Bars loaded, 192.5 kilos, El Adlani, Italy.
Next out, we have Yusuf El Adlani for 192.5.
Yusuf
7.5 kilo increase from his opener.
just below that Italian record he had previously broken.
Start. Wrist. Rack.
That looks right on the limit.
Through white lights, good lift for El Adlani.
Well.
195 on the bar now, Abdul Saleh.
What would you do in that situation? Would you just scratch, save your energy,
Ball loaded.
or try for another 2.5?
I'd have a quick conversation. If the record entices him and he raises his intensity, you've seen it happen. Talking
Mo
about
is
rising-
asking for the support of the crowd.
Talking about rising intensity, here we are.
I said that people didn't come out roaring like a bull for bench press, and Mo's just proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Now this matches the current British record.
And if you think Mo's roaring like a bull for bench, wait till you see him on deads.
Start. Rest.
Oh, wow. That's a great bench for Mo.
Mo's on fire.
197.5 on the bar. Emil Norling, Sweden.
He's in good form today.
Bars loaded. 197.5.
But he did the smart thing. He
Norling,
came
Sweden.
early. You know, he's not taxed himself. He got acclimatized to the. We are at altitude here, so he got over the journey, got acclimatized to the altitude. Now here is Emil Norling, 197.5 on the bar, right up against his current best of 200.
Yeah, and 190 we both thought was work. If he fails a 7.5 increase, we're starting to get into a little bit of trouble.
Start. Rest.
I think it might have moved easier.
It certainly didn't look any harder.
Now, how is gravity supposed to work? More weight is harder, no? Or has gravity been turned off?
200 kilos.
Well, I've often wondered if gravity's been turned off, and I've watched Emil deadlift.
Fair enough. It's been a bizarre session already. I'm
Really
intrigued.
has.
200 kilos Depender.
Tano Depender, 200 on the bar.
If this moves well, he also has a Netherlands record. 208 is his previous personal best. I'm wondering if a possible record back home might be a big ask.
Start. Rest.
And it's slow.
Yeah, he's not going to go for a national record tonight.
No. I think only 2.5 on that. He picked up a red light there, a yellow card failure.
Libya.
I think it was for butt lift.
Yeah, it looks
No.
like some butt lift there.
I think that was marginal. It seemed to me like he did keep just a tiny bit of his butt down. But 2 to 1, it was a good lift.
You can have one cheek go up. You can have the other cheek go up if that cheek went back down. But they can't both come up and have daylight.
Abdullah Mohammed, Libya, 205 on the bar.
Muhammad had a very big squat. And this is a pretty big bench press.
Start.
Despite a big, super narrow grip, relatively flat back.
Yeah, sinks a long way too. But it clearly works for him. He had quite an unusual style of squat,
Yeah,
quite an
he did.
unusual style of bench. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what his deadlift looks like.
Bars loaded. 205 kilos Clément, France.
Contact Clement, 205.
Listen, Corentin is a fighter. When the going gets tough, he finds another gear. It's squat session. It was a little untidy, but nothing you can't rebound back from. This is sports. His rivals are likely to have a couple fumbles as well. Oh, but he
And
does
that's
need
ground
this.
to a halt.
He did need that second attempt,
did.
though.
No lift,
Wow.
no lift for Clément. 215
That's a little
on the bar now.
surprising.
Michael
Now we're
Davis,
starting to
USA.
miss.
That's not what we expected to see at all.
Bar loaded.
No, I did. Some of the
215
lifters I've
kilos
spoken to
Davis,
today
USA.
were concerned that they're not accustomed to lifting this late at night.
I'm not sure. I struggling to find answers right now because he seemed really strong in the warm-up room, and he
Sure.
said he felt great. Someone who's looking great, though.
Michael Davis,
Yeah.
215.
Start.
10-kilo jump.
Rest.
Yeah, wow. Like,
And he's got more there, maybe another 5.
this is how you string together attempts and win a world championships. I know it's early. I'm not crowning him just yet. I'm just telling you, the momentum is obviously in Michael Davis' side right now.
But he's 5 for 5.
190 kilos of
So
weight.
those are the standings in bench at the moment, with Michael Davis ahead of Abdullah Mohammed, ahead of Weweji from the B group. And we have Ben Pape on the platform right now for 190. This is more than he's done in competition before. Only got up 2.5, so I think this should be within his capability.
Start. Rest. Yes.
Well, he looked strong.
Move very well, especially for a third attempt and a personal best.
Yusuf El Adlani, Italy.
Yusuf El Adlani from Italy is coming out now for 197.5, 5 kilo increase. He's having a good day so far.
And this would be potentially an Italian national record as his previous. Well,
No,
comes a
not
moot
quite.
point.
That's his first miss though, and it's not uncommon to miss your third bench. Now this is a big jump for Mo. We have Abdul Majid Suleiman from Great Britain coming out for 202.5.
However, Mo has been looking phenomenal.
He has.
If he's going to get a big PR, it's tonight.
Yeah, I said earlier this would be a British record. I was actually looking in the wrong column. It'd be a Masters record, and there's no way he's a master.
He is far from a master at 25.
Start. Rest.
Yes, it is Mo's night after all.
Certainly a personal best.
And Mo is heating up. Mo is heating up.
He's looking confident on the platform, and he looks like he's having a great time.
I tell you what, if you like his bench, you're going to love his deadlift. Stick around.
202.5, Norling, Sweden.
Emil Norling next. Sweden's strongest firefighter, also I've heard.
The #1 nominated, the European champion, the defeater of world champions. Can he win an open world championship tonight?
Now he has made some mistakes, and Michael Davis hasn't.
Now this is a personal best. I thought 197.5 was work. He went up 5 kilo.
Rest.
And it was just a step too far, 2.5 kilos
Yeah.
would probably have gone.
It was a gutsy move. I thought 197.5 was a little close. 5 kilo is, high risk, high reward. And he's starting to miss lifts.
Yeah, he's 4 for 6.
That's not great. That being said, he has the biggest deadlift of this field.
Bronze for Clement.
And the deadlifter always has the power. Quentin Clement, 205 on the bar. He missed this last time, which we were quite surprised about.
Yeah, he's hit 210 kilo before, and he was feeling good coming in.
Start. Rest.
Oh, wow.
Well, he's got it back to the top.
Did his butt come up?
Yeah,
No
he
lift,
did.
no lift, Clement. 205 on
We'll
the
take a
bar.
look at the
Hello, Defender,
slow-mo
Netherlands.
replay here. Big time.
Oh,
Bar
wow.
loaded for Defender. No more
Just
changes to openers.
a review here. Your head has to be on the bench. Your butt has to be on the bench. Your feet can't come off the ground. They can slide but not come off the ground. You need those touch points.
Tano Depender, 205 on the bar.
Start. Rest.
Nope, that's not going. 5 kilos was just a bit too much.
No lift for Defender. 210 on the bar, Abdullah Mohammed, Libya.
All loaded.
Bars loaded, 210 kilos.
Abdullah Mohammed.
Libya.
Libya. Go for 210. He took the bronze in squat. He's guaranteed the silver. In fact, yes, he's guaranteed silver, and Michael Davis is a little bit too far ahead for him to catch up.
Start. Rest.
It's a long way up.
Wow. That's a big weight to move that far.
Good lift. 3 right lights from Mohammed.
There is a lot of horsepower behind that young man.
Michael Davis, USA.
Next out, Michael Davis. Now he picked up the silver in squat and he's already got the gold in bench in his pocket, looking to just extend his lead at subtotal another 5 kilos.
Michael has a big deadlift as long as he's sorted the grip issues he had at the American Nationals. This is 5 kilo that'll help his cause.
Start. Wrist.
He's looking phenomenal today.
And he has some pep in his step as he walks off the platform.
Confidence is a big part of it. That'll really give him some heart for the rest of the competition. So we have Michael Davis taking the gold ahead of Abdullah Mohammed and Mo. Mo takes the silver, the bronze in bench.
Well, how do you like that? A little bit surprising. Some of the favorites started missing.
So we have the second flight now. This is the 120s. And we're starting with Bryce Krawczyk.
And it's not unusual to see the biggest deadlifter of the pack benching first. It's those long deadlift arms impede them in the bench press event.
Opening with 170. He's done 195 in the past.
Now, I don't see the other lifters that we've seen bail on their squats having X'd out their bench. Does that mean they're still going to continue when they weren't injured?
Start. Wrist. Back.
Easy.
Good lift. 3 right lights for Krawczyk.
Gets an easy one in. Doesn't tire himself out to make sure he's on the board. Aslam Salem Marwas from Libya.
Bars loaded.
He's
190
opening with
kilos,
190.
Libya.
Didn't have a great day on squat, only got 1 squat in.
Very close grip. Very unusual grip to see.
The coach is upset about something. I don't quite know what's happening.
Reset the clock, please.
There was a table error. There was an error on the score sheet. He's actually coming out for
This should be 170.
170, and it was saying
That was a
190.
misload. That was a misload. This should be 170,
And he almost-
not 190.
Yeah, and he almost bench pressed 190 kilo. That's substantially heavier than 170. He would feel the difference, and I'm glad the coach caught it.
The lifter will get a new lift at the end of the round. So we're not
So,
170. 200. Weight on the bar. 200.
Okay, so
This
the
is
jury
Mohammed
decided
Saad,
that
Algeria.
because there was an error, the lifter will get another attempt at it at the end of the round.
Merwas will get an attempt at 170 at the end of the round.
So this will now be Mohammed Saad for 200.
Well, I'm glad the coach caught that before he
Bars
attempted it.
loaded,
20 kilos
200
extra.
Saad,
That
Algeria.
could have.
We've already had
Yeah.
a crazy session that could have ended very badly.
But we have Saad on the platform right now for 200.
Start. Wrist. Back.
Looks good. I'm hesitant to predict anything now. We're having such an unusual session.
That was work for an opener, I thought. What do you think, Joe?
France, bar is loaded. 202.5 kilos payroll, France.
Okay, we have Nicolas Perrault for 202.5. I've just been told that the lifter who's been granted another attempt will follow himself, so we'll have a 3-minute gap. If a lifter is given an extra attempt at the end of the round, but he is the first lifter out in the next round, it's a bit unfair to ask him to come out on the platform twice in 2 minutes, so he's allocated an additional 3 minutes to take his next attempt.
And we have a few minutes to chit chat.
Start. Rest. Back.
Good lift for Nicolas Perrault.
Good lift, good lift. The payroll.
And that was actually a personal best by Perrault, but to be expected when you're moving up in weight, those might be old numbers. And he's just getting bigger and bigger into the 120 kilo class.
Now we have got Marius Yusups, Latvia. He's coming out for his bench. We weren't sure whether he's injured. He looks fine.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Hopefully everything's okay. This is a bit of a rock'em sock'em session.
Rest.
Wow, that's a fast descent.
Back.
That was reminiscent of his squat, wasn't it?
It just rattles my nerves.
2 to 1, good lift for Yusups.
Now he got a blue card from the centre referee. Blue card can be downward movement of the bar, but there certainly wasn't any there. The other blue failure is lockout if your elbows are not fully locked. Carl Somerset, Norway, 210.
Carl, the epitome of a friendly giant.
He's done 220 before.
Start. Rest. Back.
Again, a blue card failure from the centre referee. That's not something we can really review on the replay. You can't see the lockout at all, really.
Yeah.
And we have Antti Krekkila from Finland coming out now. Finns are a big nation of benchers, and he's opening with 217.5.
Start. Rest.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
And that's an opener.
Yeah. It looked like he didn't get that right at all. It looked like he almost dropped it on himself and then tried to heave it up.
Yeah, hopefully that's not a strength issue. Obviously, as we said before, you need at least one lift in each event to keep moving forward.
So maybe if he just lost the bar path on the way down, that's why he had to heave it up and it didn't quite go.
One would hope.
Enrique Lugo, USA, opening with a massive 220.
His biggest bench is 230 kilo, and he is having a good day, so I'm expecting his bench to be somewhere around there today as well.
30 seconds.
He's used up all his platform time and he's going to have to be quick to get the start command. And he gets the start command with 3 seconds to go.
Rest.
Strong.
Very strong.
Could really do with shortening that setup time though.
Next weight on the bar remains at 220 kilos. Eric Willis, Canada.
Yeah, Lugo's having a good day.
Eric Willis is out next, and Eric is definitely not having a good day. He only got one squat in for the third time of asking.
However, bench press is one of his events, That's why he has the biggest bench press opener of this field. If he goes 3 for 3 in bench press, he can recover some ground and some confidence and bring himself back into this.
Start. Rest.
That's got to help.
Yeah, that looked good.
That's got to help.
3 white lights with a good lift for Willis. Okay, we're at the
So
end of
we
the first
have
round. That
Islam
gets
Moas
the
coming out now for
additional
170.
attempt out, so
This
we are
is
about to
retaking
170.
the. There was a table
170.
error. The table had put him in the score sheet as 190. It should have been 170. Now, just to explain why they didn't load, just let him load 170, is because he had the lower lot number.
All on it.
Bars loaded,
So
170 kilos.
Bryce had already come out for 170, so they couldn't allow him to go because the order of competition says that if 2 lifters select the same weight, the lower lot number goes first. So Moaz couldn't just take the 170 as the order of competition had been broken. So he's retaken the attempt at the end.
Start. Rest. Back.
Nice and easy. But we now have the issue that he will be the first lifter out in the second round.
180
And
is the next weight on the bar.
How much
No, we
will
need to
3
go on
minutes
there.
give
That's
him?
the next attempt.
This is a relatively quick turnaround, but the turnaround isn't 3 minutes. Now what's
Okay,
There's just a little bit of confusion because the score sheet has moved on to, in fact, it's Bryce Krawcheck coming out next.
because is he going? Oh, because he's
Yeah,
doing.
he's gone up to 182.5. So we've got Bryce coming out next for his second lift at 180. Now, I think that Mervaz will still get a minute or 2 minutes added to his time.
Where's Bryce Krawcheck? Here he comes.
I think there was some confusion as to who was going out next.
I don't blame them.
So hopefully we've all the attempts have shaken down now. We know where we are. We've got Bryce Krawcheck of Canada on the platform for 180. And that's a nice second attempt.
Yeah. Yep. He's got to be happy with that. 10 kilos up from his opener. Didn't slow him down much. And Bryce, 5 for 5 at the World Championships.
In which he can take his lift. The rule is that you get 3 minutes.
So
plus the 1
next
minute.
out
He has
we
had
have
1 lift and
Mervaz,
comes
and
again, so
because
has 3 minutes in
he
which to take
didn't
his
quite
lift.
follow himself,
The bar is loaded at
he
182.5 kilos.
had another lifter go in between. The rule is a slightly obscure rule. If he had to follow himself, he would have had 3 minutes added to the clock. After the 3 minutes, they would have loaded the bar and then called 1 minute. Because another lifter's gone in between, it's slightly different. He's had 2 extra minutes added to his time, and the clock is now ticking with 3 minutes, and he can come out at any point during that 3 minutes to take the lift.
And it should be noted, the turnaround here in terms of the squat event to the bench press event, Eric Willis, former world champion, had a very shaky squat event. And if you're from Canada watching this, you know, your heart would have been fluttering seeing him miss his opener, come back, miss his second, has his back to the wall, hits his third, and now he's back into his wheelhouse. The bench press is his event. He's routinely at
2
the
minutes.
top end, either the biggest bench or the second biggest bench of a flight of nothing but world-class contenders. He can grab some kilos here in the bench press event. He also has a very big deadlift. So all is not lost for Eric Willis. The other Canadian, Bryce Krawcheck, is now 5 for 5 and seems to be pacing very, very well. However, Lugo is looking phenomenal, isn't he, Joe?
He is. He's looking strong today. But here's the Libyan lifter. He has elected to come out a little bit earlier than he needed to. Says he's done recovering, and his opener did look easy. So he's like, right, I can do it. I can go out and take my second now.
Well, he's recovering from an opener, not from a second, so it makes sense.
Start. Rest.
And that was a nice second.
3 white lights and a good lift. Next weight on the bar, 210 kilos, Nicolas Payroll, France.
Next out, Nicolas Perrault, France, for 210.
Bars loaded, 210 kilos.
Second
Nicolas
attempt,
Payroll,
already
France.
going to be matching his previous personal best. Perrault moving up into the 120s. Young guy, just 23 years old, but one of the rising stars in France. There's a lot of hopes on this kid, conducting himself very well here today at the IPF World Championships.
.210 on the bar to match his current best.
Start. Rest. Allez, allez, allez. Back.
Oh, it was a tough one.
3 white lights, good lift for Payroll, 212.5 on the bar. Mohammed
Yeah,
Saad.
maybe a conservative
Yusups and Curricula to
third
follow.
attempt. Let's take a look at this slow-mo.
That was tough.
Follow it.
I would
Bars
say
loaded.
no more than 2.5.
Saad,
Yeah.
Algeria, 212.5.
Mohamed Sahad, Algeria, for 212.5.
15-year veteran of the game. Now, was this one of the gentlemen that got sent projectile out of the squat rack? If my memory serves me right, it was. We had 2.
We did.
Either way, they're all back, and they've already pressed. Everybody looks fine, which is good.
Maybe it was just a bit of cramp. We are at altitude here.
Rest.
That looked like a nice second.
3 white lights and a good lift for Sahad at 212.5. 215 on the bar now. Maris Yusups, Latvia. Curricula and Somerset
And I
to
guess
follow.
a cramp halfway up your max squat can feel a lot like an injury.
Talk about bad timing.
Bar is loaded, 215 kilos. Yusups, Latvia.
Maris Yusups, Latvia, for 215. Every time he moves the bar, he moves it at speed, not always in the direction he wants.
It worked for the first two squats and completely backfired on his third. I am very interested in seeing what happens when the weight gets heavy on his bench press, because he really dive bombs this thing to his chest. And I mean, the spotters and loaders, how can you catch that thing if you can't control it?
I don't think that the spotters were catching either of those squats that went on the floor. They went in an unusual direction and the lifters actually threw them.
That was actually a little better controlled than his first, but infractions.
Okay, that's a failed lift. He got a blue card from the front and a yellow from the side. Now, I didn't see what the yellow card infraction was there.
His feet, potentially. I heard something about his. One of our TV producers are telling us his foot might have
I didn't
moved.
spot it. I believe it was a foot movement, but I didn't spot it.
I didn't spot it either. I wasn't looking at his feet, though, if I'm honest. And that's the thing with the bench. There's so many potential errors and infractions because it's such a technical lift.
Side refereeing bench is the hardest thing to referee. Now, this is anti-curricular.
Rest.
He needs this. Did his
I'm
butt
not
come
sure
up?
if his butt came up. Well, 2-1, he's got it. Let's see what that looked like on the replay.
Somerset, Norway.
You know, so one cheek's allowed to rise, not both. I couldn't see from this angle
No,
right through.
I'm looking around. You can't see the jury from where you are, Ryan, but I can see the chief referee and the jury saying that was no lift for curricular.
Uh-oh.
His butt came up.
Now we're in danger.
Now, it's a difficult thing for the referees to spot, but we have the butt cam, and that takes no prisoners. Here we have Carl Somerset for 217.5. And you can see the light shining through there, so it's clear when the butt does come up.
And that's by design.
That's a tough one, but I think he's got it.
Nice. Three white lights.
Curricular, no lift, overruled by the jury. Curricular, no lift, overruled by the jury. 2:30 on the bar. But Lugo.
And this is the benefit of the jury having the slow motion replay monitor on their desk, which the referees don't get. Next out, Enrique Lugo, 2:30.
This matches his previous personal best. Now, 220 moved very well, and up until now, he has looked all types of strong Let's see how his previous personal best looks today after a massive 30-hour flight, multiple time zone changes, and now at altitude.
Start. Rest.
Oh,
Well, it was strong. There was some lateral movement through the body, but the butt must have stayed down because he has 3 white lights.
yeah, I think there was leg drive, but I don't think his butt came up. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's hard to tell if it went right through.
Bar loaded, 235
Either way,
kilos.
Lugo nets himself 2 benches in a row. Now, how much heavier should he go?
He's looking strong, but he's
Yeah.
going to have to watch that leg drive just making his butt pop up.
Right. It's enticing to just drive those legs, but maybe a little too much at times.
So Eric Willis has gone up a massive 15 kilos. Now that looked like it was close to the limit.
And this is, as I said, where he's going to grab some ground, and he needed to start making some more aggressive attempts, having only gotten his 1 squat in the squat event.
Ball loaded.
Bars loaded, 185
So that's where we
kilos,
are
bar
as we
bars.
go into the 3rd round of bench
Yeah.
with Willis leading from Lugo from Somerset. And Eslam Salem Meraz from Libya is coming out now for 185. Only gone up 2.5.
Went up 12.5 kilos from his first to second, only 2.5 from his second to his third.
He's having a bit of a chaotic day though.
Start.
That was a bit of a chaotic session,
Rest.
but very entertaining. Whoa, what happened here?
Oh, no.
Another. This is very unusual to see this amount
Is he okay?
of, bars being grabbed,
185
possible
on the
injury.
bar for Price, Project Canada, will be followed by Pedro and Curricula.
Ball loaded.
Well, I hope he's
Oslo,
okay.
185
He's
kilos,
holding
Canada.
his shoulder, but we have seen people limp off the platform today, clutching various parts of themselves and come out looking okay. So let's hope he's fine and it's just a bit cramped up. And here's Bryce Krawczyk for 185.
The deadlift world record breaker has one more lift before we enter the deadlift event. Where's he going to leave off? Every kilo he gets in the bench press event is kilos he doesn't have to pull when pulling for silver, when pulling for gold.
Start. Rest. Back.
Nice.
If I'm honest, Lugo at this point is so far ahead, it's going to be, the wheels got to really fall off for Lugo to miss gold at this point.
Curricula and Somerset.
But in a session that anything can happen,
Well,
Bar loaded,
it looks like
212.5 kilos, Pedro, France.
yeah, it looks like anything can happen tonight. And we have Nicolas Perron for 212.5. Two and a half kilos above his current best.
Hey. 30 seconds.
conservative 2.5 kilo jump, and I think it's appropriate. 210 was work.
Rest.
Perfectly judged there. Managed to grind through it.
You hear Charlotte from Team France yelling instructions and encouragement.
Finland, Somerset and Sahar to follow.
Next out, we have a lifter in trouble. We have Antti Krikkila with 217.5 for the third time of asking. Nothing on the board.
Come on, Finland.
Now we've had somebody scratch in Group B, but this is a potential bomb out.
Start. Rest.
Has he done it?
I'm not sure whether his butt came up. Let's see from the side view.
Oh,
He's
wow.
on the board.
And he doesn't even look back for the white lights.
We are not leaving any lifters behind. He is on the board. That's a huge amount of leg drive, but he managed to keep his butt planted.
Norway.
And that's a massive relief. Carl Somerset for 220.
Yeah, this session's entertaining all around, isn't it?
I think it's excitement that the coaches could do without.
Yeah, and the spotters and loaders. It's exciting, it's suspenseful, it's action-packed.
Start. Yes. Next.
Not quite there for Somerset, but he got to 17.5, so he didn't leave anything behind. He got all the kilos he was capable of today.
Follow it.
Bars loaded, 220 kilos, Sahad, Algeria.
Now, Mohamed Sahad has gone up 7.5 kilos to try to take the bench bronze.
And he's actually pacing in the projected for a very big total. Somewhat surprising here the way he's emerging.
But he has looked strong today, and he's the projected total has him in first place right now.
Above Lugo, which is surprising.
Yes.
And I think he's done it. The coach is celebrating, and the lifter's celebrating. That's a good lift, and he takes the bench bronze.
Enrico Lugo, USA, Willis to follow. 5-minute break at the end of this round. 5-minute break at the end of this round before the deadlifts.
Follow it.
Bars loaded, 240 kilos, Lugo, USA.
Enrique Lugo for 240. This is a big lift. This is 10 kilos above his current best.
Lugo's feeling strong, but 230, which equaled his previous personal best, was work. Threatened it.
10 kilos is a lot to go up on a third bench.
It is. Let's see if he gets his first failure in the bench event or if he pushes past it.
He has the silver in his pocket, trying to swap it for the gold.
Start. Rest.
Maybe a little too ambitious.
That was a bit ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.5 would probably have gone, but it's easy to be wise in hindsight.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I was hoping for the best, but it was a big ask.
He's still got the silver.
5-minute break to follow
Now.
Willis.
See, all the leg drive in the world wasn't going to get that going.
Bars loaded, 240 kilos, Eric Willis, Canada.
Eric Willis now for 240 to match his best. He already has the bench gold.
Is this also ambitious? 235 was also work. Was 2.5 kilo. A better jump with the weights this big. The percentage of 5 kilo isn't as big as it is for smaller weight classes. Oh, oh.
Oh, it's stalled out. It won't go.
And if I'm honest, again, you know, these gentlemen are pushing each other right to the limit and unfortunately right past it.
A group.
And
Okay, so that gave him the gold. Eric Willis takes the gold with 235. Lugo takes the silver with 230, and Sahad takes the bronze with 220.
now if we can look at the projected, here is a bit of a turn of events that I did not see coming. Lugo, the #1 nomination, is in the projected now for 890. Let me say what the projected is. It takes the subtotal, the best squat and bench press, and adds the opening deadlift. That's the projected. He's at an 890 right now, but Sahad from Algeria is at a 905. He was nominated in 5th place. Lugo was nominated first. Going in, most of the experts were eyeing Lugo, Eric Willis, the former world champion, and Bryce Krawczyk, the world record breaker. A bit of a shocker here as this is developing.
It really is, and Eric Willis on the projected is 50 kilos behind, and we have lifters in the B group who may place in the A group.
Now, Eric Willis does have a big deadlift. He can cover a lot of ground in it. And, of course, Bryce Krawcheck has a world record deadlift. Let's see how it goes.
Welcome back to an action-packed session at the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships in Sun City, South Africa. Ryan, we've had some really surprising lifting here today. Do you want to just recap the bench for us?
Yeah, well, so first off, Michael Davis with the 220 for the gold, Muhammad with the 210, and then Mo, who's known as a deadlifter, with a 202.5. But if we look at how this battle is unfolding leading into the deadlifts, Michael Davis has got the lead in the projector with an 895. But Emil Norling won the Junior World Championships, pulling for the win with a monster deadlift. He beat the reigning world champion Anatoly Novopismani with a massive deadlift in a massive upset. Emil Norling is known to upset the odds, load up in his last deadlift, and pull for the win. Can he do it here today? It's going to be intriguing to find out.
Well, he doesn't even have the biggest opener today, so I think he's really up against it. And we are underway. The bar has hit the floor and the party is about to start. Here's Tano Depender. We are opening at 300 kilos. He's done 332.5 in competition before. Had to put some work in to break from the floor, but that is typical of sumo. Sumo stance is where the feet are outside the hands. We say it's conventional if the feet are inside the hands. And next out we have Ben Pape from the UK, opening with 315. Now he's a good deadlifter too. He's pulled 350 in the past. He was part of a crazy deadlift battle at the British Men's earlier this year. Pulled 350 that day, had a go at 360.5, wasn't quite there. Wow, that was fast. 3 white lights and a lot left in the tank there for Ben. Needs to be just a bit careful about not overextending at the top, because that can cause the knees to unlock, and you must have your knees locked at the completion of the deadlift. Yusuf El Adlani, Italy, opening with 320. Slow and steady.
Oh, was it a little down up at the end?
Oh, I didn't spot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So watch that back on the replay. Just looked away just as he gave it a wobble.
320 kilos, Mohammed, Libya.
Oh, there was. The bar must go straight to lockout, must not dip on the way. Here's Abdullah Mohammed. Is he going to disappoint us with a completely normal deadlift style? And I think he is. I'm not sure how unusually you can pull a deadlift, to be honest. He's got 320 on the bar right now. Not super easy. I wonder how much he's got left there.
320 kilos next weight on the bar, 322.5 kilos. Abdul Suleiman, Norling, and Clement to get ready.
Abdul Suleiman, more commonly known as Mo, is coming out for 322.5. He opened with this at the British Men's and finished on 361. So I think if this goes well, we'll see him take a big jump to his second.
Mo has broken national records, and that deadlift battle at the British Nationals excited the entire sport. Wow.
That did not seem to give him any difficulty at all.
3 white lights for Suleiman, 340 on the bar now. Emil Norling, Sweden. Clement and Davis, get ready.
340 on the bar for the next two lifters. Emil Norling out first because he has the lower lot number. The
So-
lot numbers are allocated randomly at a weigh-in and just sort out the order of competition.
In terms of Emil Norling, he's not opening the heaviest, but he does have the heaviest deadlift amongst all these lifters. So it's interesting he's not opening the heaviest. Is he pacing himself the best? And there's the smile I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, he's looking confident, isn't he?
Because this is his event. Now, I gotta believe he's gonna pull for the win as long as he can cover some ground.
I can't imagine a situation where he wouldn't load up whatever he needed right at the end.
He must be pretty far back, and the day will have really gotten away from him if that's not the case. There's the smile I was talking about.
He's happy with that.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish. It doesn't matter he's not opening up the heaviest. Believe history doesn't lie. He has the biggest deadlift we've seen out of all these men in the field.
However, Michael Davis is out for a heavier opener. I'm sorry, it's Quentin Clement is coming out for the same weight.
And look at Clement has an outstanding deadlift as well as Michael Davis. They're not miles behind Norling.
Clement is 3 for 6 right now. He is not having his best day.
That's encouraging.
But maybe he'll come into his own now on deadlift. Oh, one red for lockout. The red card failure on deadlift is for lockout, so shoulders not back or knees unlocked. I couldn't really see it from there.
Looked good to me.
But 2 to 1, a good lift.
Now, Michael Davis struggled a little bit with grip issues at American Nationals. He otherwise has hit a 365 kilo deadlift. He's an extremely strong puller. If his grip is on point, he's going to be tough to beat. If he starts fumbling the ball with grip, he's going to be vulnerable.
But he is having a good day. He's 6 for 6 and he's looked submaximal on all his lifts.
He's looked phenomenal thus far.
That was superb.
Good lift, 345.
Wow. Okay, the fight is on. And I'm not sure if you would bet against Michael Davis today.
He's definitely the favorite. Obviously, he's got the lead. But a lot can happen in a deadlift event. You can see Team Sweden is already putting in attempts that would temporarily give them the lead over Davis if Davis starts missing lifts.
Well, looking how easy his opener was, though, he might take a similar jump. Norling's put 22.5 kilos on for his second, and we've both just got our eyes on the board now to see what Davis is going to do. But he looks like he's capable of just such a big jump.
It's just the Swedes are they got to be hoping Davis starts missing.
And you said he has grip issues.
Well, in PA Nats, the American Nationals, some grip issues popped up that weren't previously there.
So we have Tanner Depender on the platform right now for 317.5. And that's a tough break from the floor, but he's got it all the way.
Good lift, 315 for defender.
I will say this, though, Emil Norling is not pacing for, a personal best total right now. He's not. Missing those lifts has really set him back. But the Miracle Man, who's pulled miracles for big wins before, if he did it today, oh my goodness.
And I can see the 3 men in the lead are all putting on big increases for their second.
Yeah,
We're going to have a deadlift battle here.
It's going to get dramatic.
Yusuf El Adlani, he missed his opener of 320. He's retaking it for his second. I don't remember what he failed on, if I'm honest. It was he gave the bar a wobble, didn't he? There was
That's
downward
right.
movement.
That's right. And also Mo from Great Britain is going to hang tight enough, same with Muhammad, to possibly steal a medal.
Nice. Just waiting for...
One vote from the side referee.
There
Thank
we
you.
go. Yep, he's on the board. Everyone makes a total.
Abdullah Mohammed, Libya. Kate and Suleiman to follow.
Follow it.
Abdullah Mohammed.
40 kilos, Mohammed, Libya.
Libya. He is looking for 340. He's taken a 20 kilo increase. Has not missed a lift yet. But that looks close to his limit.
Puts it down nice and smooth despite it.
342.5 on the bar.
He shouted his squats up as well. I do like that. Ben Pape now 342.5.
This is such a tight race. There's Michael Davis in the lead in the projected, and within 2.5 kilos, 3 other lifters. Or excuse me, after that. So Michael Davis, then Norling, and then 3 lifters, sorry, within 2.5 kilo battling for the bronze. That's what I meant to say.
But we didn't expect to see Emil Norling in third place battling for the bronze.
Well, he's a little bit ahead in second, in the projected.
In the projected,
In the
okay.
projected, yeah.
Sitting in third at the moment. But
Right,
here's Ben
right.
Pape for 342.5. Didn't look much different to his first.
Good white lights and a good lift for Kate. 360 on the bar now. Abdul Suleiman,
Wow,
Great
Mo
Britain.
has gone up a
Davis,
massive
come on,
amount.
get ready.
He's looking for 360 for his second, open with 322.5. He's putting what is essentially his best lift on the bar for his second. This is a big jump.
Suleiman, Great Britain.
It's a massive jump and will pull him temporarily into second place. Mo is
He looks
actually,
ready for it though.
coming in. He was a little further back from the bigger names, and he's definitely a podium threat right now. He's got a monster deadlift.
Let's hope this wasn't too big a jump.
Oh, he's on tonight. Oh, he's on tonight.
And he's just pulled himself into second place overall.
360 on the bar now. Michael Davis, USA. Clement
He's
Abdul,
leading the
get ready.
deadlift race with several deadlifts still to go in the second round, and he's pulled himself up to second place.
This is quite the shakeup.
Michael Davis is out next for the same weight, 360. More of a conservative jump for him though, having opened at
360 kilos,
345.
Davis, USA.
Michael Davis having the day of his life. It might be netting him the title. He's pulled 365.
He's sitting in first. He needs to just keep pushing out in front.
This should be within his means. And it's really going to push away, back up all these other contenders. Don't chase me, chase Silver. Uh-oh, those grip issues I told you about.
It's not going. He's clinging to it, but that is a missed lift.
And here's the problem. Grip issues appeared in American Nationals. And this is what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Norling and Depender to
He
get
pulled the
ready.
weight. The weight was no problem, but he just couldn't hang on to it. And for me, he should have let go of that a bit earlier and conserved energy.
And now Norling, now he's vulnerable. And Norling, despite not having his best day, can pull himself into victory position. The problem is Mo is now from Great Britain is now on fire. Clement is now re-energized, having seen that, and he's got a massive
360
deadlift.
kilos, Clement, France.
Yeah, Mo was nominated in fourth, but a good 20 kilos behind the top three, and he's sitting in second right now. But here's Corentin Clement for 360.
If Michael Davis can't get another deadlift in, he's extremely vulnerable and really going to start falling behind.
So this is going to move Clement ahead of Mohammed into third place overall.
Oh, just through willpower he gets that up.
Now Irish shoulders back.
I thought so.
The referees did not. He was just a little bit hunched. Now, how much has he? See, he's just a little bit forward. He just needs this tiny movement just to bring his chest up and through.
Here comes Emil. He smells blood.
He looks confident, doesn't he?
Is he going to do it again?
This will take him into first place in deadlift and first place overall.
When the biggest deadlifter of the pack pulls himself in the first place by the second, the battle turns into a hunt. Uh-oh.
There we go.
Uh-oh. He knows it. He knows
Shouts
it.
defiance at the crowd. He is in the lead.
And he's got another 10 kilo in him, and he's already in first place. Shades of how Chance Mitchell won the 93s.
Wow. That was an impressive pull. So here are the standings in deadlift right now, with Emil Norling leading from Abdul Suleiman from Michael Davis, who had those grip issues. And if we can see the overall standings now, Norling is just 2.5 kilos ahead of Davis, who's 10 kilos up the road from Suleiman.
And here's the problem. Norling still has another 10 kilos in his deadlift if he needs it, maybe even more. And Davis is already starting to falter. Now Norling's the tough guy to try to unseat.
Now I can see a lot of really big deadlifts going in. I think some of those are placeholders.
Yeah.
But first we have Tano Dependent, Netherlands, for 325. By placeholders, I mean that for your third deadlift, you can make 2 changes. Usually you can't change the lift you've submitted, but for third deadlift, you can change twice. Wow, that's just a little bit too heavy for Tano. That gives him an 800 kilo total and leaves him in 9th place.
4 attempts to change openers.
Yusuf Aledlani, Italy. It's gone up 15 to 335. As it's the third round of deadlift, the bar must be cleaned between each lift, just to ensure that each lifter has the best possible chance of maintaining grip on the bar.
Bars loaded, 335 kilos, El Adlani, Italy.
This is a 2.5 kilo personal best for Yusuf Aledlani. Oh, it was tough, but he got it.
Yep. 15 more kilo towards his total.
Next weight on the bar is 350.
So that moved him up a place ahead of Ben Pate, with Ben Pate still to pull.
Get ready. 3 attempts remain to change openers. 3 attempts.
Abdullah Mohammed from Libya for 350. 10 kilo personal best if he gets it, and this will put him back on the podium. Bronze in deadlift, bronze overall.
Takes a little peek over at the clock to time his setup, has a couple words amongst himself. And looks like it's a full-blown conversation. Another peek at the clock. Whoa.
Wow.
The engine revved.
He has a bit of a look around, and he's on the board and he's on the podium. for now. But he's done his job, he's got himself up there, so it's everyone else's job to come past him now.
Potential deadlift bronze for Pape if he gets this with 4 lifters to follow. 2 attempts remain to change openers.
Next out is Ben Pape,
loaded.
Team GB,
Kilos, Ben Pape,
for
weight
355. Now he did 350 at the British, missed 360.5. He split the difference here, he's got a smile on his face, he looks like he's having a good time. This will move him onto the deadlift podium and back ahead of the Italian.
Oh, nice. In position for a deadlift bronze.
So he's given him 6th place overall with an 862.5 kilo total.
This will be potential deadlift silver and potential
But 4
overall
more pulls
gold
to
for
go.
Davis with 3 lifters to follow.
All on it.
Bar is loaded. 360 kilos.
Now here
Davis,
comes Michael
USA.
Davis to retake 360. He missed it on his second, but he can't go down. He has to take that weight or more.
If he hits this, he might be forcing Emil Norlin to load up with more than he can handle. If he hits this, he's back in the gold medal position and
Emil's
pushing
done the
Norlin.
smart thing though. He's asked for 400 just to see what everyone else does. Can
Oh!
he hold on to it?
I think he's done
I
it.
think he has.
Wow, Michael Davis turns it
2
around.
to 1. That's a good lift.
He's
He is
turned it
back in
around.
first.
362.5 on the bar now. Corentin, Clément, France, Suleiman and Norling to get ready.
So I think we'll see a change from Norling, but first we have Corentin Clément for 362.5. He missed 360,
All on it.
Bar loaded, 362.5
but he's trying to
kilos.
get back on the overall podium. This will put him in 2nd on deadlift.
Provisional deadlift silver,
3rd
provisional
overall.
bronze. For
Now
Clément,
it was
could
just
this
it
be
was just an
successful?
inch of lockout. It was just needs to get his shoulders back and his chest through.
I'll be honest, I thought it was locked out, but I'm not one of the judges.
I did say before the result came up, I'm not sure his shoulders are back, so I am in agreement there. But it was such a tiny movement,
Nope.
and he just does not have it today.
No lift, no
That's a
lift,
real
no
shame.
top,
Leaves
no
him
ball
in
changes,
5th
no
place
changes,
overall.
openers, 372.5 on the bar. Abdul
Now Emil
Suleiman,
Norling
weight
has
division,
dropped. He's
Norling
dropped to
follow.
377.5.
Provisional
First,
deadlift
we've got
gold,
Mo
provisional overall
Abdul Majid
silver
Suleiman
for
from Great
Suleiman.
Britain.
If this is
He's
successful,
pulling for 2nd and not
Great Britain,
bronze.
Get ready to make some noise
Wow.
for your boy.
It's gutsy. Either silver or 4th.
He wants the deadlift gold and the overall silver. So he's currently tied on body weight for 3rd place, and he's the heavier lifter, so he's in 4th place. But he doesn't just want to come past the Libyan lifter, he wants to go all the way up to silver.
Here he comes.
And he
The crowd is behind him.
and ready to go. He's ready for it. What a showman.
Oh, can you feel the energy in the air? Everyone is on their feet. My hair is even standing on
This
my
will
arms.
be more than 10 kilos more than he has ever pulled on the platform before. Locks in the hook grip. Gets it moving.
I think he might have done it. He's got it. Silver. It
Got
is.
it.
Silver it is for Mo.
He's in silver medal position
Whoa.
right now, but Emil Norling has still to pull.
And Emil is pulling for gold.
But this does mean that Mo finishes on podium. He cannot do worse than 3rd.
And I think that's why they chose to pull for
Yeah.
silver, in case Norling hits, he doesn't get bumped off.
Now this is more than Norling's done in the past. He's done 375.
Can the Miracle Man do it again? One more miracle.
I wouldn't bet against him, but this is a big pull
He's never been able to do this before.
for deadlift gold, for overall gold, for the world title. Emil Norling of Sweden.
Is there going to be one more miracle tonight? Everybody's on their feet again.
Here we go.
Oh my
lock it out?
goodness!
Can he lock it out?
My
I think
goodness!
he can.
Your new
2-1.
world champion,
Emil Norling.
Norling.
He takes the gold.
The Miracle Man takes the 105 kilo throne in dramatic fashion.
That was a superb pull.
How many final pole wins does this man have in his pocket?
So if we can just get a look at the standings right now. Here we go. These are the deadlift results with Emil Norling pulling 377.5, just ahead of Abdul Suleiman with 372.5 for the silver, and Michael Davis pulling 360 for the bronze. But in the overall, the big prize, Emil Norling is the new world champion with 912.5. Michael Davis 2.5 kilos behind on 910, and Mo from Great Britain takes the bronze with 897.5.
What a startling turn of events. Look, it's not the day any of these gentlemen had predicted. Everyone thought their totals would be higher, but it was a lot more entertaining due to the missed lifts. And Emil Norling, the Miracle Man, once again pulling for the win. He defeated Anatoly to win the European Championships with a monster Hail Mary pass, and now he's done it again.
Well, if we can just process the results from the 105, we are straight into the second flight, which is the 120s. And we have, now this is interesting, we have Marius Yusups coming out for 125. I think this does suggest he injured himself on squat.
And yeah, and some of these injuries won't pop up in the bench press event.
So he's pulled 125. I expect to see him scratch for the rest of the competition.
And that even, he looks a little bit distressed even there a little
Yeah.
bit.
That's a shame.
Good lift, good lift.
But he got a total.
280 on the bar now.
Technically did not bomb out.
Somerset and Lugo get ready.
Wow.
So, Anti-Cricula, he gave us a bit of a fright on bench, but he got one in the end, and he's opening his deadlift with 280.
No scares there.
That was easy.
3 white lights, 280 kilos.
He did drop his opener actually,
310 on the bar now.
just to make sure, I think just to give him a bit of confidence, get one on the board. Carl Petter Somerset, Norway,
Bars loaded,
310.
kilos, Somerset, Norway.
This is a long way down from his best of 358.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe he'll take some big jumps once he's got one in.
Yeah, judging by the smile coming down to the platform, he didn't look distressed. So probably going to take some big jumps.
Yeah, fast.
3 white lights and a good lift. For Somerset, 320 on the bar now. Enrique Lugo, USA, Merwas and Sahad 2 get ready.
Enrique Lugo from the USA is going to open his deadlift with 320.
Bars loaded, 320 kilos, Enrique Lugo, USA.
Pulled 342.5 at American Nationals. Looked solid.
It looks solid. Here's the thing, the surprising turn of events was Sahad from Algeria. Very interested in seeing how this moves because he's going to start taking the lead here.
And here comes Mohamed Sahad from Algeria with the same weight, 320. And this, as you say, will take him into the lead.
By 15 kilo, no less. And that's, you know, judging off nominations, you wouldn't have seen this coming.
No, he was nominated in 5th. To be fair, the nominations were quite tightly packed. When we talk about nominations, those are the totals that a lifter makes at their national championships in order to qualify for this event.
But the 40 kilo spread between Lugo and him is completely diminished, and now he's 15 kilo ahead of Lugo. It's surprising.
And looking comfortable with 320. Picked up a red card infraction from the side referee, which indicates either knees not locked or shoulders not back. Not sure which one in this case. Nicolas Perrault for 325.
Bars loaded, 325 kilos, payroll, France.
He's done 343, which suggests some kind of record. Is he still a junior, or is this his first year in seniors? I'm not absolutely certain.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He is in the... He could be aging out this year.
Nice.
Good lift, 3 white lights to payroll, 330 on the bar now. Eric Willis, Canada.
Now here we go with the two Canadians, two big deadlifting Canadians. Eric Willis first for 330.
330 kilos, Willis, Canada.
He looks fired up and ready to go. No drama there.
2 to 1, good lift for Willis.
Again a red card infraction for lockout from the other side this time.
Canada. Krikula and Sahad, get ready.
And next out, Bryce Krawcheck. 357.5 for his opener. That's a massive opener. He took the world record at the World Championships last year with 385.5, tried 390.5, and he was a millimetre of lockout away from it.
Yeah, he's capable of pulling himself into position for a medal. What medal is that going to be? I'm not entirely sure.
10 seconds.
Comfortable.
Good lift, 2 to 1 for Krawcheck.
2 to 1. Again, the referee's not entirely happy with his lockout.
In round 2, 300 kilos, anti-curricular. Finland, Sahad and Somerset, get ready.
You know, right now, the battle between Lugo and Sahad, which we didn't see coming, it's going to be tight with Lugo now trying to catch up.
Bars loaded, 300 kilos, curricular.
So those are the
Finland.
standings at the moment, with Sahad leading from Lugo from Vervali in the B group. But here's anti-curricular, 300. Good lift for him.
Good lift, 3 white lights to curricular, 335 on the bar now. Sahad, Algeria. Somerset and Lugo, get ready.
Next out, we have the man in the lead, Mohamed Sahad. I would not have predicted we would be in this position.
335 kilos,
No.
Sahad, Algeria.
You know, he was 40 kilos behind on the nominations for Lugo, and now he's 15 kilos ahead. It's a 55 kilo difference. But this is sports. Throw the nominations out the window once the
Yeah,
action
he
starts.
benched 20 kilos more than his nomination and squatted 15 kilos more.
How much more will he dead?
And this is already 5 kilos ahead of his nomination. So he is piling the kilos on and extending his lead.
Yeah.
Carl Somerset, Norway.
Can Lugo catch him?
Payroll, get ready.
Bar loaded.
Bar loaded, 337.5 kilos, Somerset, Norway.
Carl Somerset, Norway, 337.5.
And it appears all of a sudden the Canadians are battling for bronze. Along with some of the other lifters.
He was very happy with that.
He's feeling it.
340 on the bar now. Enrique Lugo, USA. Payroll and Willis, get ready.
Bar loaded.
Enrique Lugo for
Lugo,
340.
USA.
This is only a shade under his best at 342.5. But he's going to need to bring out his best today.
A contender he did not see coming has emerged and already taken the lead. Lugo, I believe, has the, well, I was about to say has the bigger deadlift, but
Oh, that looks soft as well. See what the referees think. 2-2 on a good lift.
I know Sahad, second attempt was 5 kilo less, but more convincing.
Look how they slowed to the middle part of the lift. I think there's a question there, how much more he's got.
Yeah.
Bars loaded, 345 kilos. Payroll.
Nicolas Perrault,
France.
345. He's taken a 20 kilo increase.
You know, Lugo is 10 kilo behind. I don't know if he's got 10 more kilo in his pull, which means he might be defending silver as opposed to chasing gold.
It looks like it. Sahad did look like he had some more to give.
And there's a slew of contenders battling for bronze. This is going to be right down to the last deadlift.
This will move Perrault up to 4th place and get him on the deadlift podium. But we have some way to go yet.
Two to one, no lift for Payroll.
That was an odd one. He got the down command and then pulled it further.
Curricular to get ready.
So, I'm not certain of quite what happened there. I can see that the coach is at the jury table,
Bar loaded.
and I think I would be too.
Yeah. You have to have the question, because if he gets that deadlift, he's in shot of a potential bronze overall.
The coach has been sent away though. So that failure stands, and we have Eric Willis now for 357.5.
It will temporarily pull him into bronze medal position with still the final deadlifts to go. But it's
Again,
work.
it looks a bit soft.
Yeah.
2 to 1, no lift for Willis, no lift for
Yeah,
Willis. 372.5
it just
on
didn't
the bar.
look convincing.
Rice Project Canada,
And if you
Curricular
look
and
when his
Sahad to
knee
get
slips
ready.
under the bar halfway up, I think that's why he got one blue card. And then the overall deadlift was just a tiny bit soft. These are really, really minor things, but we are at the World Championship. This is the pointy end of the sport. You have to get it absolutely perfect. And here's Bryce Krocek now. 372.5 on the bar.
The world record breaker, this will pull him temporarily into 4th. He's just trying to slowly close the gap. And then if he pulls, he'll likely pull last. He'll see if he could pull for somebody's medal. This is a very interesting turn of events in the 120 kilo class. That was smooth.
Good lift, 3 white lights for Project.
And he moves up to
That
4th.
concludes the second round. We get into round 3. First weight on the bar, 322.5 kilos.
He's got more there. That was fast off the floor, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes, it was.
Sahad and Payroll to get ready.
So these are the overall standings, with Sahad leading 10 kilos ahead of Lugo, who is in turn 30 kilos ahead of Vivali from the B group. The B group lifted earlier today, and Krawczyk is, wow, he's 5 kilos behind that. Eric Willis, who we expected to be fighting at the front, all the way down in 9th at the moment.
The way that the attempts are put in now, Sahad has 345, and he'll end up with a 920. Lugo has a placeholder. If Sahad misses, Lugo will pull and try to overtake his lead. We just have to see who hits and who misses. It's going to be interesting.
Anti-curricular on the platform right now for 322.5. Taken some big jumps, went up 20 kilos to his second, got up another 22.5. This will pull him up to 5th place. Oh, it's a grind.
Holy smokes.
But he's a fighter. He's looking at the referees if to say I've finished, but I don't know if she'll be convinced.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is no lift, no lift.
So, blue cards for supporting on the thighs. His coach looks ruefully at him and smiles as he comes off. He's approached the jury table, but he didn't even get within 10 feet. He waved him away. It's the coach's job to do the best for the lifter, and he was right to approach the jury table, but he knew he didn't really have a case. Now we have the man in the lead, Mohamed Sahad, for 345.5.
If he hits this, his total is 930, and I think it's just too far for Lugo to bridge that gap. And Lugo, instead of going for gold, will look to defend silver.
345 kilos, Sahad.
This is a good play by Team Algeria. I think 10 kilo is within his reach, and it will put the gold out of Lugo's reach.
I think so. That's a very experienced coach he's got with him, and he looked great with 335.
Yeah.
I think he's got this.
I think he does too.
I think this could really cement the world title for him.
Oh!
Wow.
And the door just swung open for Lugo.
He's going to have a few tense moments in the back now.
Listen, Lugo's 340 was worked though, Joe. Do you think Lugo has 352 and a half?
I don't. But, you know, when everything's on the line, when the world title's on the line, you get that extra bit of fire in your belly.
I know, 340 was
It's a big ask.
difficult. It's a big ask. It's, wow.
Bar is loaded.
Nicolas Perrault,
350 kilos.
350.
Nicolas Perrault.
This will move him into 3rd place overall. But he missed 345.
Yeah, he wants that bronze medal, so he's going up to get that bronze overall if possible.
Okay, bar loaded.
So this will put him in silver on deadlift and 3rd in total with 4 more pulls yet to go.
He's trying to pull himself in position for an overall medal and hope that these other gentlemen miss, and they might because we haven't had very many 3rd pulls here.
Still looking for a first.
Oh!
And I think he's done it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Check the referee's decision. And there we go. Perrault goes all the way up to 3rd place.
A gentleman 10 kilos smaller than everyone else and just out of the juniors might walk away with an overall medal.
But it's not over yet.
No.
First out, we have Enrique Lugo. He's sitting in 2nd place. He's loaded the bar to pull into first. 352.5. I guess he's got nothing else to do.
I was just about to say, he's also got nothing else to lose. It's a proper move by U.S. Nobody's threatening his silver, so he might as well. Oh! Oh, my goodness!
Wow. Now, I don't know if he's locked that out, if I'm honest.
Did he get the down command? I think he knows he didn't.
He did not have his shoulders back. He looked at the referees and tried to brave it out. The coach has gone to the jury.
Well, yeah, they got you because the world title was on the line.
But that looks soft to me. His shoulders are not back. I doubt he'll get
Oh,
anywhere.
that was so close. So close.
So he stays in silver medal position. Will he keep it? Carl Somerset has loaded up a massive 360. It won't take him past Lugo, but it will take him into overall third. But this is ambitious.
Well, he's trying to. It is definitely ambitious, Joe. He's trying to knock Perrault off the podium and take his bronze medal. And you know what? You're at the World Championships. Let's go.
If ever you were fired up enough to do it, it would be now.
He's hit 358 before, so 360 isn't the craziest. It's just a big jump, that's all. Oh my
And
goodness.
I think he's got it.
Yeah, I do too, and I tell you what.
Carl Somerset
Oh my goodness, this
goes
is
all the way to silver medal in deadlift and third place overall. He knocks Perrault off the podium.
this is one of the wildest sessions I've ever called. And people are emerging out of nowhere. We got a world champion that nobody's seen coming. Wow.
So it is not over yet. We have two more deadlifts to go. We have Eric Willis. In fact, it's two Canadians, two big deadlifting Canadians. And he missed 357.5. He's loading up 367.5 to get himself on the overall podium.
Everybody wants a medal. And it's just, it's quite the wild session.
7.5 kilos, Eric Willis, Canada. Deadlift silver, overall bronze. Come on!
He's pulled 370 in the past. In fact, he pulled 375 in Sweden last year.
Nope.
Sorry,
Now he's
no
cut
lift, no
into the
lift for
120s
Willis.
this year. Do you think the weight cut has impacted him because he finished in 9th place and we expected to see him on the podium?
For sure, it's. I mean, he's going to have to get used to getting to be a 120 all over again. Things didn't work out the way that he had anticipated, but if he sticks around, he can fix this.
If this is successful,
One
the project,
pull
the world
to go.
record will be 390. This is a World Open deadlift
So,
record attempt. This will get
Bryce Krawczyk holds the world record in deadlift at 385.5. He's loading up 390, and he was close to 390.5 last year. This will also... No, it won't give him the total record, but it will get him on the podium. He's already got the deadlift gold. This will give him the overall bronze.
Can he break the deadlift world record, create history, and pull himself onto the podium?
overall bronze, but it's all about the world record.
This is redemption for Bryce.
It's his own world record. He would like to push it 5 kilos up the road. Sitting in 6th place overall, this will get him onto the podium.
Twenty seconds.
He's got it moving,
no.
but it's just too heavy today. He takes the deadlift gold, but he cannot improve on 6th place. So we have a truly unexpected podium.
Yeah, that's to say the least. From Algeria, Algeria takes their first world champion of these world championships.
So we have the deadlift standings first. 372.5 for Bryce Krawczyk to take the gold. Carl Somerset, that's a massive result for him. 360, with Perrault taking the deadlift bronze. But in the overall, the big prize.
Yeah, Sahad upsetting all of these favorites to take the world championship. Lugo, the American, still had a great day, having to settle for the silver despite being the #1 nomination.
And Carl Somerset,
What?
3rd overall.
Another surprise there. He's a longtime veteran. Not many had picked him for overall podium, maybe even individual events, but that is your 1, 2, 3, and it just goes to show nominations isn't always how it plays out. That's why you have to tune in and watch. Sometimes things get wild.
Everyone sets their nominated total at home, where they're in control of a lot of factors, but here they have to travel a long way. They're in an unfamiliar environment. They have to warm up with their competitors, and things do not go to plan.
Yeah, and we've seen throughout a lot of things didn't go to plan. This was one of the wildest sessions we had to call. We had an upset victory. It was entertaining front to end. You don't want to miss any more action at the IPF World Championships, so please make sure you tune in tomorrow.
I've been Joe Whiteley. I've been joined by Ryan Lapadat. Please stick around for the medal ceremony.
Welcome back to the IPF World Championships medal ceremony for the 105 and 120 kilo classes. The lifters in the 105s are now coming onto the platform. They're brought out by the technical controller. And we will begin with the medals for the squat event. IPF President Gaston Parage will be handing out the medals. First, each lifter will receive a medal. And a handshake from the president.
Okay, and now it is time
And
to
now
present
the medals
individual
for the
lifts.
squat event.
First of all, squat in bronze medal position.
In the bronze medal position
From
with a
Libya,
325 kilo squat, Abdullah Mohammed from Libya.
Taking the silver medal.
In the silver medal position with a 330 kilo squat, representing USA, is Michael Davis. And in the gold medal position with a 337.5 kilo squat, from Sweden, Emil Norling.
Great job, gentlemen. Great job. Thank you. And now to the bench press.
Moving on to the bench press event.
202.5 from Great Britain, Abdul Suleiman.
In the bronze medal position, Abdul Suleiman with a 202.5 kilo
Silver
bench
medal
press.
with 210
In the
kilos
silver medal
from Libya,
position,
Abdullah
Abdullah
Mohammed.
Mohammed, representing Libya, with a 210 kilo bench press. And in the gold medal position, representing the
Bench press
USA,
gold with
with a
220
220
kilos,
kilo bench press,
Michael Davis.
Michael Davis.
Great job, gentlemen. Thank you. And now to the deadlift. Bronze medal, 360 kilos.
Now onto the
USA,
deadlift
Michael
event.
Davis.
In the bronze medal position with a 360 kilo deadlift, representing USA, is Michael Davis.
Taking the silver medal on
In
deadlift
the
with
silver medal
372.5
position,
kilos from Great
representing
Britain,
Great
Abdul
Britain with a
Suleiman.
372.5 kilo deadlift, Abdul Suleiman.
Deadlift
And in
gold
the
with
deadlifts, or in the
377.5
gold
kilos
medal
from
position,
Sweden,
representing
goes to
Sweden
Emil
with a
Norling.
377.5 kilo deadlift, Emil Norling.
Great job, guys. Great job. Thank you. And now it is time to announce the medals for overall.
Now
and
moving
crown
on
new
to the
world champion.
overall medals.
In the bronze medal position,
In the
overall,
bronze medal
with
position,
897.5
representing
kilos
Great
from
Britain with an
Abdul Suleiman.
897.5 kilo total, Abdul Suleiman.
Taking overall silver with 910
In the
kilos
silver
from
medal
USA,
position,
Michael
representing
Davis.
USA with a 910 kilo total, Michael Davis. And in the gold
Your
medal
new
position,
105-kilo world champion
the
with
new
912.5
world champion,
kilos from
representing Sweden with a
strongest player,
912.5 kilo total, Emil Norling. We will now
Ladies and
stand for
gentlemen,
the
please be
Swedish
upstanding for the
national anthem.
of Sweden. Great job, guys. And now, if you could return to your competitors and compatriots
And now the lifters will be
ladies and gentlemen,
led off the
give these guys
platform
a big round of applause as they follow
by the technical controller,
from the platform.
while they receive a standing ovation from the inside crowd. And next up, we have the medal ceremony for the 120 kilo weight class. And these are the lifters from around the world, the national champions, led in by the technical controller.
Participation medals presented by Gaston Parage.
Like the 105's IPF president, Gaston Parage, takes to the platform to give each of the competitors a medal and a thank you. They put on quite a show. As always, we will begin with the squat event.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to present the medals, the individual lifts first.
We're in bronze medal position, representing the U.S. with a 340 kilo squat, Enrique Lugo.
Taking the silver medal.
In silver medal position,
Kilos on bodyweight from South Africa, Francois
representing
Maritz.
South Africa, Francois Maritz with a 340 kilo squat. Advantage over Lugo on body weight.
Goes to Algeria's
And
Mohamed
the gold
Saad.
medal goes to Algeria's Mohamed Saad with a 365 kilo squat.
Well done, guys. Thank you. Thank you. And now to bench press. Thanks, guys.
Now we move on to the bench press event.
In bronze medal position.
In the
with
bronze
220
medal
kilos from
position,
Algeria,
representing Algeria
Mohamed Saad.
with a 220 kilo squat, Mohamed Saad.
Sorry for making you all backwards and forwards.
In the silver medal position,
230
representing the
kilos,
USA with a 230 kilo bench press, Enrique Lugo.
And bench press gold with 235
And
kilos goes to Canada's
in the
Eric
gold medal
Willis.
position, representing Canada with a 235 kilo bench press, Eric Willis.
Well done, gentlemen. Thank you. And now for the deadlift.
And now moving on to the
Thank you,
deadlift
gentlemen.
event. In the bronze medal position, representing France with a 350 kilo deadlift, Nicolas Perrault.
Nicolas Perrault. Taking deadlift silver
In
with
the
360
silver medal
kilos from
position,
Norway,
representing
Carl
Norway
Somerset.
with a 360 kilo deadlift, Carl Somerset.
And deadlift gold with
And in the
372.5
gold medal
kilos goes to
position,
Canada's
representing
Bryce
Canada
Project.
with a 372.5 deadlift,
And a spirited
Bryce
attempt at that
Project.
record as well. Great to see. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. And now it is time to present the medals. For the
And now
overall and
the
crown new
overall
120
medals.
kilo world champion. In
bronze medal
overall,
position,
890 kilos, is
representing Norway
Carl
with an
Somerset.
890 kilo total, Carl Somerset.
Silver medal overall.
In the
910
silver medal
kilos
position,
for the USA,
representing USA
Enrique
with a
Lugo.
910 kilo total, Enrique Lugo. And in the gold medal position and the new world champion representing Algeria with a 920 kilo total, Mohamed Sahad.
Also receives the King Protea. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
And now we
please be
stand
standing
for the national anthem of Algeria.
Great job, gentlemen. Great battle. Thank you, gentlemen. If you could now get back in line.
Now the lifters
Thank
will
you.
return back to the
Not easy to
lineup
move the 120s about, ladies.
and be led off the
Please
platform
join me in giving
by
these
the
guys
technical
a round of
controller.
applause as they follow the technical controller from the platform.
And that concludes the 2022 IPF World Championships for the 105 kilo and 120 kilo class. Please do come back as we have more action tomorrow.